Hi, in this lesson, we'll look at array lists. Let's go. In the last unit, we learned how to store data more efficiently using arrays. Arrays are able to store a list of values of the same type in one variable, making it easier to store and keep track of data that we need for our programs. One of the limitations of using arrays to store data is the fact that they have a fixed number of items that can be added or changed. If we were interested in changing the size of an array, how would we go about doing that? If we want to add elements to an array, we can only do so by creating a new array of a different size and copying the data from the initial array to the new one. Alternatively, we can reassign the original array to the value of the new array, so the reference is pointing to the new size array. Either way, adding additional elements to an array is a tedious and time-consuming process. A more convenient way to create adjustable arrays is by using the ArrayList class. ArrayLists are similar to arrays, except that they are a mutable list of object references. As we learned previously, mutable means that the size and elements of an array list can be adjusted and changed. Here's the standard format for creating an array list. In order to use the ArrayList class, we need to import the ArrayList class from the Java util package. We can do so by writing import java.util.ArrayList. To create an ArrayList object, we do so in the same fashion as we do for other object classes. The primary difference with ArrayLists is that we must also specify the element type of the ArrayList using arrows. We indicate which data type will be stored in an array list by writing the data type after ArrayList and between two arrows. The declaration type must match the initialization type of the new ArrayList object. This array list will only be able to store string values, and all values returned from ArrayList methods will be string types as well. Because array lists only store object references, in order to store int and double values, we must use the integer and double wrapper classes when initializing array lists. When an int or double is added to an array list, they are auto-boxed into their respective integer and double class values. To create a new array list, we can simply call the ArrayList E constructor. This will create an empty array list. Unlike arrays, we don't need to specify the number of items that will be stored in an array list, as the size of the array list can be actively changed. We are actually able to write array lists without specifying the type that will be included in the array list, but specifying the data type is highly recommended because it allows the computer to find errors before runtime. This makes it easier to find errors and program more efficiently, as the program will indicate there is an issue before any code is run. While arrays and array lists are fairly similar data structures, the key differences between them lie in their creation, mutability, and the types of data they can store. While arrays are a fixed size, array lists can contract and expand, and they can only store objects, whereas arrays can store both primitive and object values. Now that you've learned about array lists, let's get some practice using them in the editor.